Welcome back to our channel. I'm Max.
And I'm Maya, and we are living and learning and responding to your comments.
And I just want to say that we've been enjoying these conversations a lot lately. The fact that we have this opportunity to sit down and have these conversations are golden. But I also have to emphasize the love that we have for you guys who literally elevates the value of all our conversations because you have your inputs and advice and all these things, and I just want to let you know that you are continuing our conversation on our private life after the videos.
Yeah, so on our previous video we posted on arguing in front of our daughter. You left such mature, insightful comments in the comment section, so we wanted to kind of address that and read a few of them. But before we get into that, we need to thank the sponsor of this video, Surfshark VPN.
Surfshark VPN is a virtual private network that is crucial and so handy in this day and age. Whether it's for professional or private use, it always comes in handy. For us, we've been using it while traveling. When you're jumping on different accommodations, you are changing public Wi-Fi's. It is literally keeping your information and your identity safe by encrypting all the information to a safe, secure, incognito identity that you can use online.
For entertainment and for even websites, some websites I can't access because of my location. So when we use Surfshark VPN, we tell the computer, hey, we're not really over here, we're over there. And all of a sudden we have access to entertainment, sites that we would otherwise not have access to. For your chance to have 3 extra months for free, use the promo code MAXMAYA, and we have the link in the info box below. Okay, thank you, Surfshark. I'm gonna go ahead and read your comment. Make sure you let your daughter see how you negotiate to work things out. Arguments will arise, as you have mentioned, but allowing your children to see you resolve them teaches them the difficulties will come, but it doesn't mean the end of the world. They will learn that it's okay and necessary to work through situations instead of breaking up the family. Thank you for sharing real life in addition to YouTube life. God bless you both. Stay strong. Maturity is next level, like the insight. I didn't even think about that. I didn't think that it's important for Saga to see us resolve things.
No.
And how that would impact her in the future. So thank you so much for that. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, and this one is good too. Something to remember is the patience and grace you give a child is the patience and grace we should give to our partner and every being on this earth. Oof. We're always learning and healing. Yeah, so these are a few out of a lot of comments. Yes. And I don't lie when I said that we've been reading out a good amount of comments to one another and literally
we had a full-blown conversation on the couch.
Yeah.
About incorporating your comments, and that led to insight and discussions amongst us. But
yeah, and then this one is good too. I noticed when Max was crying, Maya did not comfort him. When Maya started talking about her dad and started crying, Max comforted her. Very interesting observation. Max is definitely very protective. Both of you guys are intentional. I believe you'll be okay. So there's been a lot of comments on resolving from a child is good. It's been a lot of their experiences, but then there's also been a lot of criticism towards you, I would say, more specifically, not so much me.
No. So first and foremost, yes, I should have comforted Max. What did you feel about that?
No, I think you're gonna have a lot to say about it too, but I'm gonna start by saying the amount of pressure you already have, because this is our joint channel. This is something that we share our life, but I have been very welcomed into this warmth. Very rare, very seldom do I feel like I'm being disrespected or
you guys are the best.
You guys are really, really respectful people, and I think that I am, I love this space and I'm very grateful for this community, but you have been working on this for 10 years to get to this point, and I would lie if I didn't say that the majority of our followers are people who actually follow you first. But first they came in. I'm part of you, so that's all great, but I don't have to experience the same pressure that you have. So people have the idea of Shameless Maya 10 years ago when you started your shameless journey, and then the evolution of Maya, which I get to see every day in your life. They have expectations on you, so they don't take the circumstances into account when they see you react in a certain way, because the reality and the truth is although I am a very sensitive person, there are moments when I really want Maya to be more calm, soft, and comforting. That moment, particularly in that video, was not one of those. For some reason, I felt that you were attentive. I felt like you were present and that you were hearing me out. I didn't need a hand on my shoulder in that moment. Although there are moments in our everyday life where I feel like you can be more sensitive.
The reality is I could be more soft, but you don't really know me on my own channel. You get to see more of me in relationship to you. So you're beginning to see more of who I am, which is I am cold. Like you're so lovey-dovey that like when I cry and Max rubs me on my back, I'm like, stop. Like, don't do that. Not just Max, anyone.
Yeah.
I might not be as vocal with other people, but I'll definitely be like less censored around my husband who knows every part of me. So one, I'm not that. And I feel very awkward in vulnerable situations with other people. Like, I don't need to be rubbed, even though when it does happen, that's nice. Yeah. But, like, I've had people who, like, have gone through really tough things, and I'm learning. I'm trying to learn how to, like, to be empathetic because I'm not. Like, I'm like...
You're empathetic. I don't have to correct you because you have so much empathy because you are a person who just... You want to be able... When you see someone hurt, you're not like, I'm going to be there for them. Right. You're like, how can I make this person feel better? Like... In life. Like, you are so caring, like things that I don't think of. Like, I might be the first person to come to you if you're feeling sad in the moment, but Maya is the person who might internalize the sadness that person is going through, and like, how can I make this life better? Yeah. Like, you buy gifts, you talk to me about it, like you do so many things that I would never thought about, which is very, very thoughtful. And generous, actually, I'd say too.
I'm not very good maybe in the moment, but I'm like, oh, this person is going through this, therefore I should do this for them. Yeah. I should go get this, like, this book or this service or these flowers or like whatever the case is to help them. So yes, you are now learning more about who I am, which is, you know, I can be cold in the moment, but I do things. Yeah. I do care. Yeah. I just might not be so soft. There's just a lot involved. But the good conversation about this is love looks different from the beginning to now and to later on.
Yeah, I think because I saw some comments that were like, oh, this is not working. It's the relationship is crumbling. And I think that if the reference is the honeymoon phase, then it might look like that.
It definitely is falling apart then. If you're comparing it to that, but we're doomed.
But the reality is that love is so much more than a feeling. I think that the first phase is so necessary.
And what you saw, you saw a lot of like highs.
Yeah, and the highs are there. You know that feeling when you're in love and you just can't be without that person. That is there for a reason. That is there for you to make commitment, for you to get to know someone, to get closer to that person. Like that the passion that's there is for you to really, really enjoy that first phase so that you can set a foundation on how you want to move on in life. Right. But like for us, like I'm grateful that we have had that phase, but like you say this a lot, like we have a lifetime together. Yeah. And a lifetime requires different
you have to
phases.
Sustain.
Like it's like acts in movies. Right, you know, you have act 1, act 2, act 3. Right. Act 1 is definitely the honeymoon phase. Yeah. And then you enter a commitment. Now comes responsibility. There's no responsibilities in like that first phase. You just like want to talk and have fun with each other.
You're literally, I don't even say you're putting on an act because you're not. You are putting your best foot forward. And the qualities that you love about this person, like I love that Max is so emotionally intelligent. Yeah. He's so vulnerable. Yeah. You're so well spoken. Those same qualities annoy me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like and they are a double-edged sword.
Yeah, and they will only be present once you've literally committed to one another, like when you are
day to
day.
When you're like living and breathing with this person, you wake up to their stinky breath and like their farts and everything. Like this is literally like you are seeing the reality of two people who are best friends and who are like in survival mode. Yeah. And our parents, but this is only a season. This season will pass as well.
Yeah.
And it's slowly changing and evolving out of that.
If we think that that's the end, because I've had people who've told me like, once you get married, it's over, and I refuse to believe in that. And I think that if the honeymoon phase was a season of experience, this like butterflies, I believe that you can still access that. And I think that relationship now should be based upon how do I feel, how do I get to those little rewards, because I see it as a reward, and I can see you while standing here, and I might be cooking and I see you and Saga playing out in our garden, and I get that feeling again. Or when I see you passionate about something, like building something or whatever you might do, I'm like, oof, like that's what love is. And I think with everything in life is that there's challenges, and if you can just like, if you see the challenge that are there placed in front of you in a relationship, know that once you get through that challenge, there's a reward of a very good feeling. Yeah. Because we have that as creators too in life. Yeah. Like, you let's say that you have a skill. You want to like, you editing for whatever skill it is.
Or like climbing a mountain.
And you get to one part, you're like, wait a minute, I want to get to another. I don't get that same feeling anymore. I think that can be implied in love too, in relationships.
So I think what you guys are seeing is two people evolving, and to your point, this is act 2 or scene whatever. Yeah. But I do believe that it's also easy to think for us with Saga, like, because we are like literally sick and sleep deprived and like all these things at once, but she's changing. Yeah. Like, summer is around the corner. I'm like, oh my God, she's going to be sick less. Yeah. We actually had a full night's sleep last night, and she was with us. Yeah. And it was just like, we're rejuvenated. Yeah. We've slept. We can do things together. And even Max noticed, like, I was in a good mood. And I'm like, yeah, because like I planned my life on a Sunday and Saga slept. Like, life is really, life is great. Yeah. But I think what's important is when you do make a commitment to one another, as we have, like we've exchanged vows that we both take very seriously, and we're so committed to learning and growing. So yes, we have seasons of challenges, but we are so committed to, okay, what do we need to work on? How do we make this better? And thanks to you, Booze, like the comments, like we literally had a conversation about like what are some tweaks that we can both work on moving forward, that I'm so grateful. Like I feel like some people are just so wise. Like I have got wise women like in dropping gems in the comments. Yeah, for sure. I think it's important that not everything stays up here 24/7. The only way you can appreciate the highs is if you have a low. Yeah. So all things are relative. So we have we may be in a low or we're in a low, and it's just like, we know that this is a season, this too shall pass. And when we experience those highs, now we have reference. Like, and I think what's important is, when you are dating or looking for that significant other, you're looking for qualities outside of feelings. So yes, the feelings were there, but for me, it was so important to choose a partner who was like able to work through conflict and like intelligent and patient. And so we have those foundations. We have that compatibility. So now that we are faced with challenges, we can work through that because we chose mature. Like, I know Max is mature in areas that I might need to work on and vice versa. But the reality is we are both mature enough to see the flaws and work through them. And that to me those are blessings and just wins.
I would say likewise with you too. What I really appreciate about you, when conflict occurs, I never met someone who takes such responsibility in their own actions and like so eager to like work on themselves. Like it's always yes, you can be good on criticizing. I think that's just by your nature. But
I'm a critical brain beyond.
Yeah, you have a critical mind, and that comes out in conflicts too or disagreement. But like one thing that I cannot take from you, which I really like love from the very beginning when I'm is your ability to take responsibility of, okay, what have I done here? You're so good at like, this is an issue, and you might not have the answers or the tools for that, but you put that on the table. And you're like, this is a huge part on me.
Yeah.
And I need to work, and that gives me so much trust in you to work on myself too. To see someone like revealing what they are.
I see. Yeah.
That allows for a lot of room for me to be like, whoa, okay, what am I doing?
I see. Yeah.
Which I think usually comes in a good conclusion or like good environment. But like I also want to address the arguing in front of our daughter, because some of the comments that we read was like, learn how to resolve things.
Like I never thought of that.
No.
She has been there for some of the resolutions, but we weren't like conscious of it.
No.
So that's something that we can both definitely be intentional about, like volume, which we both check each other on, like volume. Actually, I like that word, volume, versus stop yelling or something.
Stop yelling.
So be aware of our volume, but also being aware of like Saga needs to see us work through that.
I also see us being annoyed at the word volume.
Yeah, but it's less like.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Saga getting to see us work through things, which is, I think, a very valid takeaway. Oh, the comments, they were saying how the parents never argued in front of them. They like maybe were arguing in a room, like not around the kids, so they didn't know how to deal with conflict. So when conflict arose, they didn't have the tools.
Right.
So it is important that Saga, she is naturally a fighter, but she needs to also see two people like work through their disagreements with intelligence and in a healthy way.
Yeah.
So that's super good.
And I think that ties in also to where we are in our relationship, where we have the stakes are high in a household with kids and whatever circumstances are, like in a relationship, you always want to be on the best with one another and you want to be your best self, but sometimes there's no hiding from your own demons and mood, and like unfortunately your partner and your child is going to see you through, like you can't put an act and a mask on.
No. And to that point, like that's why I get a little bit like, am I making the right choice? Because when we were in Mexico, I felt so overwhelmed with like Saga, and then Max, and then just like I'm older, I've spent so much time alone, and I'm just like, I just want to be alone. And so for my birthday, I was like, is it cool, Max, if I just do a solo trip? And he's like, yeah. And then, I booked the ticket, and then now I'm like second guessing myself. I'm like, wait a minute, is what I'm doing right? Am I running away from my problems?
No.
And so I was like, are you sure that this is okay? And you're like, go! Yeah. Please, for my sake.
I think like I would look forward to because I need my privacy too. Mm-hmm. Like I look forward to be with Saga by myself and have the evenings completely by myself. Yeah. But I also will say that, as cliche or corny it might sound, like the fact that I know that you're away having fun excites me. It excites me that you're by yourself. It excites me that you're in a tropical city that I also love, by the way.
Go to Barcelona.
Yeah. And it's the fact that you're going to be there, and I want you to send photos. Yeah. I want to share. I want to FaceTime with you when time permits, and see. I want you to go to these places and like go to the ocean, like all these things. And thirdly and last is that I look forward to the energy you will come back home. Yeah. How you will. Yeah.
That is the good thing, and I was hoping that would come through.
And also, I would expect you to do the same when I go.
Yeah, like I really want to fill my cup, because I really feel like I've been running on empty, and I shared this story with you before, how when I had moved to Sweden for the first time, I'm going from like solo dolo. I've been living on my own for like 10 years, and then day 3 of like in Max's presence 24/7. I remember being the passenger seat being like, oh my God, this is like so much time together. Like I need my like alone space. And you're like, you literally at that same moment, you put your hand on my lap.
Great?
You're like, isn't this great? We're together all the time. And I'm like,
you're going through it.
So that's what I feel like I'm mildly going through. And so I just want to, I would like to have a reset, come back full and rejuvenated, and be able to pour into you and Saga from a place of like
Yeah.
abundance. I think it's important to have, in our relationship, independence, codependence,
Yeah.
and just celebrating that and sharing that with Saga.
Yeah. Because we also have trips planned for this year together. A few, actually.
We have, he has
and
a
also
solo.
stuff here. That's happening all the time. The summer is going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the theme of this video has been like, thanks to you guys, thanks to the inputs that you've had, we've sort of been able to sit down and reflect on what has been our love journey. What was it before? How does it reflect where we are today? And what are we? And I like what you said, like we have a lifetime together.
Yeah. You're just gonna see us learn and grow, and hopefully, use the beginning as a reference point of like, remember that, like remember when you did all these things, or remember Maya when you did this, you did that. Like have that in mind so you can like almost like reignite that later on or now. So I'm grateful for those highs, and the lows just make the highs that much more better.
Yeah. For sure. We would love to hear from you guys how you define love and how you
your journey.
How has your love journey been and
evolution of your relationship.
Evolution of your relationship, or maybe hopes and dreams for your relationship. If you're not in a relationship, like what do you wish for? What would you have wished for in the past? And keep the conversation going in the comments below. We love to read it. We love to engage with you. Try to engage with you as much as I can, and you do it as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your love and support. Make sure you like this video, and we will see you in the next video. What did you just do?
Like that.